Hello, welcome to Finnerton Central. I'm Brian and this is my layout. Um, right, I thought we'd start here in the middle of the layout again for a change instead of over at the workbench. Um, a lot of things have been happening a lot of things have been happening, not necessarily to the layout. Excuse the camera wobble a minute while I just position you in somewhere where I can let go of the camera. Okay. Right. Right. Things have been happening. Let's see. Right. I have been doing a little bit of work to lay out, which I'll show you in a minute. I've been having an awful lot of issues as well as the platform area on Finnerton Central has warped. So I've got to glue that down. I knew I should have glued it down to begin with. But what I'm hoping might work is I'm going to ballast the area, and then the glue from when I glue down the ballast will hopefully glue down the platform area also. So what I will do is I will get it all set up, put some weights on there, test it, and if it works, then I'll glue it. I've been having issues with Finnerton Parkway where one particular locomotive keeps catching on the platform. So I've got to fix that also. It did become rather frustrating, so I ended up just leaving it in the end. So nothing really has happened to both platforms at the moment. A little bit has been happening over on that side there, where I've started building an industrial area. So I'll show you that in a minute. I've built a new little road as well as adjacent to that, and I've done a few little bits and pieces also. So what I'll do is I will sort that out to begin with, and we'll go from there. So here we are. Here is the Gauge Master crash barrier that I had just after Christmas that I fitted, which my lovely wife bought me for my birthday. I've put some road lines in here already, and the gate as well for the level crossing. So that's actually starting to look really good now. I think the last time you saw this, I don't think this was painted, but I've since painted it. I've gauged out the track as well, because of course I've plastered over the track, and now as you can see, the coach now runs over that absolutely perfectly. Yeah, so that's that, and then down to the new industrial area. As you can see here, I've got my scale scenes security fence in here. I put one coat of silver paint on that, which I brushed on by hand, and because the laser cut card is brown anyway, it sort of bled through a little bit. And that was sort of like a deliberate mistake, really, because before I decided I was going to put another coat on, I thought, you know what, that actually looks like it's been rusted. So if I sort of bend it to that sort of angle there, you'll probably see the brown tinge coming through it. So as this is going to be a very old industrial area, I wanted it to look old anyway. So that is going to be going across here like that. In fact, I've actually put a bit down already, as you can see here. I've put a bit down there already. There will be a gate entrance through there as well, as so that British Rail can get access to the track. And then over here you can see another part of the road that I've built here. Excuse my fingers a minute. Try and get you a right angle here. There we go. There's a couple of cars there that I've been using just to try and scale the area out a little bit. I've done the same thing again with the white lines. I will be adding yellow lines to the sides as well as eventually using the same method again, but this time what I'll do is I'll paint the white strips yellow and then add them on. I've also put paving in here as well as using the card that I bought from Hobbycraft. I've painted that grey, and then with a pen I've drawn the slabs into that. If you want to know the sizes, at 7mm by 11mm, which gives you a typical council slab sort of size. The sort of thing you used to throw in the back of your Capri to stop it from sliding around all over the place, if you're old enough to remember that. So really, that is pretty much it for a layout update. There we go. Back to civilization again. Back to how you all normally see me in the layout. So as you can see that above my shoulder here, the layout is starting to oh dear, excuse me, is starting to actually develop. A couple of things. I don't know whether they arrived. I know they were on order the last time I put a video up, but as you've already just seen, got scale scenes fencing there, which my lovely wife bought me for my birthday. She also got me that as well as, which is going to be going up. If you remember, there was going to be like a lake area at the top there. I didn't like it. So what I did is I've plastered over the top of that now. And these are going to be sitting on top of them. And then over by the tunnel there that you can see there, my signal box finally arrived, which was another birthday present. There's that as well as, and that, which was all bought with money that I got for my birthday, and also that as well as. That's going to go in the industrial area also. The detailing on that is absolutely awesome. I've got to show you this. I'm not, I'll tell you now, I'm not I've not been not doing anything for scale scenes or Metcalf for that matter, but I use their products because I think they're brilliant. Now, scale model scenery, this was the first time I bought any products from them, and so when I opened up the packaging, I was absolutely gobsmacked. And the detail, gotta show you this, look, the detail in that is amazing. And this is laser cut out a piece of bolster wood by a look on it. Absolutely fantastic. And you've got the gates there, and then you've got like pedestrian gates there, and then the fencing itself, which I'll show you again, the fencing itself, which is on either side of that gate there. I'll try and get you in a bit closer, but can you see those holes there at the top? I've got to thread all of them, and they're threaded. Get packaging. They're threaded with what looks like a bit of fishing wire. There it is. I've got to thread it with that. Thread that through it. That's going to be a fiddly job, that is. And then the gate itself, like the chain link part of it, is this fabric here that I've got to glue on it as well. Yeah, quite a lot of this actually with this kit. There you go. See the fine holes in there, I hope. If not, you'll have to take my word for it. But that is absolutely fantastic. This is the first time I've actually took this out of the packaging, to be fair. I never really gave it a proper look until now. But yeah, with a bit of patience, I highly recommend this. So that's that. What else was there? Yeah, there was a few other bits and pieces that I've got in the past, which I'm going to get fitted. Oh, there's this great thing my lovely wife got me off Amazon. Tufts of grass from wallpainter.net. Those 6mm grass tufts. They're going to be absolutely ideal to use as well as. And also, I haven't bought this, but I've actually made it. This is my new switch panel for the fiddle yard. As you can see, the engine sheds are down there. Obviously, you've got the turntable there, and then you've got all the lines here, which I'm going to have loads of coaches and stuff parked in. The turntable, I'm undecided about at the minute in terms of how I'm going to operate it. Oh, just found a pen on the floor. Be looking for that later. I have thought about, there's some variable resistors here that I've salvaged from a circuit board that I found a little while ago. The idea is either to use that as a variable controller for the turntable, or by means of resistors and just a simple switch, operating it that way instead, and just put some resistors in there just to slow the speed down enough just to make it look a little bit more realistic. But I've been told that apparently if I use these variable resistors, I've got to use a voltage regulator as well as. I'm not very good with electronics, so I do know what a voltage regulator is, but why I would need one in one of these, I don't know. So I might actually go down just the resistor route. I've got loads of those dotted around in here at the moment. So yeah, so that's what I might end up having to do with that. As you know, with the issue that I had with my decoders, I've currently got 2 Intercity 125s in pieces. I've got my my Class 37 in pieces, and I've got this 040 tank engine in pieces as well as. So down here on the workbench at the moment, I've just got bits of train littered around all over the place. I'm not a happy bunny, to be honest with you. But Rails of Sheffield were bloody awesome. I can't fault them in any way whatsoever. Their after sales service, as far as I'm aware at the moment, is blooming brilliant. It really is. So I would highly recommend them to you if you ever decided you wanted to buy anything from them. Definitely buy stuff from them. Anyways, rambling again. Now, I've already mentioned to you that I got a new job. I started that recently, and I've taken a couple of weeks, to get to know people and stuff like that. Anyway, turns out my supervisor is nuts on trains. So hopefully there'll be a few brownie points for me on that one. And he does know I've got a YouTube channel, and if he is watching, can I have a job, please, mate? Anyway, no, things are really going quite well with the new job, and hopefully in the next few weeks from now, they will hopefully give me a decision of taking me on permanently. So fingers crossed on that one. But the reason why I mentioned that is his grandfather left him a load of Hornby Double O stuff. If any of you are not aware of that, it's the original stuff that Hornby built back in yesteryear. Correct me if I'm wrong, but probably during World War II onwards, I think. It was stuff that was made for the privileged children of that time. So you're probably looking at sort more like upper class sort of kids, children that were the parents that were a little bit more well off than most others, and that was probably one of the reasons for why Hornby went downhill a bit back in those days. And I believe, try not to go too much into the history because obviously you can Google all this, but I believe that Triang bought them out at the time. But the locomotives were all die-cast stuff that wasn't plastic like it is nowadays. It was all proper heavyweight stuff. Anyway, he decided he was going to bring a box load of this stuff over to the layout. I wished I videoed it all now. But if you look up on my Google Plus group, I did send them a few pictures of these particular locomotives, and I can quite happily say they went on the DC branch line on the top here, and they ran absolutely beautifully. A couple of them squealed, but after a couple of drops of oil, they were perfect. In fact, they were running better than most of the stuff I've got here now. I mean, some of this stuff I don't think had been run for decades. But he also had Lima Intercity 125 as well as, and that whizzed around the track like there was no tomorrow. Bearing in mind, we didn't do any cleaning or anything else of a sort. Literally just put them on the track and saw what happened. All but one worked. One doesn't work down to, I think we found a broken wire. We weren't really quite sure where that went, but he's going to be bringing that back around at some point or another in the near future, for me to have a look at and see if I can try and get that working for him. But yeah, you know, he came round on the, I think it was last weekend, came round on the Friday after work, and we just played trains, and it was fantastic. We had some proper good fun. But I just loved running these old trains around the track. It was brilliant. I mean, they were a bit rough to begin with, you know, but once we got them working back and forth a few times and dared to run them through the tunnel behind me here, they just razzed around the track brilliantly. So if any of you out there know anybody that's in the hobby, and you know, get them to come round and vice versa and play trains, it's great fun, isn't it? But up until now, it's just been me, myself and I on this layout, and having somebody else come in with their trains as well as and putting them on the layout, it was brilliant. It really was. It was just fantastic fun. I got to see some fantastic engines, and the worst of it all is one of my trains that I've got on my list that I want to buy was an A4 Pacific, and he just happened to have one. And the first time an A4 ran around on my track, and it wasn't mine. But boy, did it fly. Golden Fleece it was called, in its original set, in its original box. It got you know, the tin coaches that came with it. It was just brilliant. It was watching these things flying around the track. It was fantastic. I just so wished I videoed it now, and put it in my video here now. But as I've said before, my phone isn't a great phone, and I can't edit anything at the moment. Simply because of the fact that there's just not enough memory space. But hopefully I'm having a new phone in June, and things hopefully will be a little bit better, because I'm definitely buying one that's got to have a lot more memory space in it for a start, which will then allow me to download apps of so that I can actually edit these videos a little bit better. But as for now, it is as it is. So if I do accidentally drop my phone, it's going to be in the video. You know what? I could not. You know what? I honestly did not plan that whatsoever. I've thrown my hands around all over the place, catch the wire on the bloody microphone. I couldn't do that again if I tried. I really couldn't. Oh dear. Right, okay then. Blooper number 1 for this year. There you go. Right, well, before I end up dropping my phone yet again, I'm going to leave you all to it. So, you know, you've seen what's happened so far on the layout. Again, Jason at Barnabas Central, thank you so much. So, Barnabas Junction, sorry. Thank you so much for giving me a mention on your new YouTube videos that you're going to be doing. If you haven't already seen it, go on Barnabas's channel now. He's doing these new live sessions where he's helping everybody else out and boosting up their subscribers, and then just giving everyone else a mention and doing something for everybody else for a change. It's really nice what he's done, and he's helped me go up to 100 subscribers at last. Yay! So from myself, thank you very much to all of you out there. To be honest with you, I wouldn't be doing this if I hadn't got anybody listening. There is it's mentioned so often. There is a fantastic community of people on YouTube doing this sort of thing. And Jason at Barnabas is one of those fantastic people. There are loads. I'm subscribed to hundreds of you, quite literally, and I do try to watch all of your videos. I really do. You know, I'm subscribed and I've pushed a bell on every single one of you, and every day I'm getting on average about, I don't know, probably about 15-20 YouTube clips to go through, and I usually sit down every evening watching them all. So I do try to catch up with you all as often as I possibly can. If any of you have got any questions to ask, if you go on my YouTube channel on your PC or laptop or desktop version of your phone, there is a discussion column on there. You can all contact me on there. If you are on Google Plus, I'm also on there, as well as there is a link on my page in the bottom corner for you to click on, and that'll take you straight to my page on Google. And also, if you go on Railway Modeler Hobby, on Google Plus also. There's a group of people, that is a group of people on there. We just talk trains all day long. Many of you on YouTube are also on there. So yeah, check us out on that, as well as yeah, just enjoy yourselves, have good fun, and when it all starts getting a little bit stressful, just walk away. That's what I've been doing. Anyway, folks, my coffee cup is empty. I'm going to go and refill it. And I will see you again soon. Take care all, and bye-bye for now.